What's up, people? Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. I don't know if that has been the best intro I've done. Kind of felt like it. Anyway, yeah, it's mostly the same. Anyway, it's Saturday afternoon, and ever since like the morning of today, it's been just crazy. It's been a whirlwind of reports around Victor Gyokeres and his decision on his future and his preference of a move to Arsenal, and that is a huge blow. That is a huge blow. But that's what we're mostly gonna talk about today, and then we're gonna touch base on other news surrounding Manchester United and other signings or possible signings. So yeah, let's just dive straight into it. But quick second, guys, take a few seconds of your time and subscribe to the channel. Show some love. Share the video, like I've said before. If you enjoy the person talking to you, if you enjoy the voice talking to you, if you enjoy the effort we put in here to make sure we get those live streaming content out to you guys soon enough, please share, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments how you feel about the channel, about the news updates. Um, yeah, and just anything in general that you want to talk about, put it in the comments below. Moving on, yeah, so Fabricio has come out and reported. I don't have the exact reports, the exact word, but something along the lines of Gyokeres have chosen Arsenal. Obviously, there was some sporting, there were some Portuguese reports that had already said that earlier, and maybe not as accurate, but now we have the transfer guru, the reliable one, coming out to say that part of the story is true. Gyokeres wants to sign for Arsenal, and I'm guessing his agent has put that out as well. And I mean, it's not a great feeling for us for Gyokeres to choose Arsenal over us. I personally, I'd rather walk away from the deal, and I think that's what Manchester United is probably doing. Because um, from Fabrizio's updates, he says this deal is now unlikely. We might not have taken all our eggs out of the basket, if that's one way to say it. Um, Usually, it's putting eggs into a basket, but I'm saying we might not have taken all our eggs out of the basket yet. Um, so there's still a chance that that could still happen. That could still happen if Arsenal obviously goes for Sesko instead of Gyökeres. But then again, we're the sloppy second, so and we're Manchester United. So why would we accept to be sloppy seconds for anyone? You know what I mean? It's disgusting. I mean, to choose Arsenal over Manchester United. I mean, I could only imagine how United fans that followed the club for 20 years plus, how they feel about that. I followed the club for 20 years plus. Um, or the likes of Patrick Evra, who's always talking shit about Arsenal. I mean, it's just it's a disgusting feeling. It's nasty, and um, following up on what Amram said earlier, I think before we played the Europa League final, and he said he only wants players that wants to come to the club and not for Champions League purposes. If you really think about it, um, so far from the start of the transfer window, it looked like we're following that philosophy where the likes of Cunha and Mbuemo could have possibly. I mean, we haven't signed Mbuemo still. That's another thing we'll dive into later. But it looked like we were following that what Amarin said in that press conference. You know what I mean? And now it just seems like reality is biting a bit, um, especially with the striker position, which is so very crucial. Um, I think Amarim really wanted Gyökeres, and before he said that statement, he probably didn't think that we're not going to be in the Champions League, or even though he thought, even though he had imagined the possibility of not of us not being in the Champions League, I don't think he would have thought that Gyökeres at the time will make such a decision. I mean, this is probably a decision he's thought about with his agent, and they've come up with deciding to let everyone know, which is a stupid decision that they've decided to let everyone know that they want Arsenal. I mean, that's he's put all his eggs in one basket. Meanwhile, we have to make the decision now to really just start to steer away from this deal. It's appalling to be sloppy seconds for anyone. It's just like you're at a bar or whatever, and you and your one of your mates, maybe they're in a much better position than you, they're thriving more than you, but you have a track history, a big history of being the life of the party or whatever, you know. And now your mates thriving a little bit, and the lady both of you are trying to talk to is pretty much going for your mate, going for the shiny new toy or the stuff that's trending right now, and you trying to tell her like, look, you gotta stick through the process with me. Like it's gonna go up from here. We've made good plans to make sure that you're rolling with the best guy out here, and then she's just she's just turned you down, and she's going for your mate, and yeah, it doesn't feel good. I don't know anyone that will be with someone who's not gonna trust the process. So I think all in all, I'm trying to say that we should probably let this deal go, and which nicely puts me up to the next news about Hugo Ekitike. Um, very, 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 very good player. The talks are that the asking price for him is 80 million. Makes okay. There's some other news coming up here, but nothing really new. They're just regurgitating information at this point. A lot of journalists trying to put their own tune to the news out there. But yeah, Hugo Ekitike for 80 million. I think that's probably a bit too much for the player, and apparently we're trying to talk the price down. Apparently we're also in contact with. There's been positive contact with the players camp, and now we're trying to see if we can get him for cheaper from the club. So I don't know how I feel about Ekitike because we needed a proven striker. It's just something totally different. It looks like we're staring into the path of the Joshua Xerxes and the Hoylands. I mean, he's much better exposure in Europe. Ekitike, that is, but I don't think he has that sniff for goal as a Gyökeres would or an Oshiman would. But in my opinion, I'll take him over Gyökeres now because that just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I cannot get over. I know everyone's trying to be level-headed and whatnot, and I usually am. But like I said, she's refused to trust the process. You gotta get out of there. Like I don't give second chances to stuff like that. He's openly come out and say that, look, Arsenal is what I want. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it takes a different level of um self disrespect to still be there and be like, okay, yeah, I know you might want this guy, but I'm still gonna be here because I know my mate doesn't want you or might not want you because he wants something else. So I'm still gonna be here to get the sloppy seconds. Hell no, I'm out of there. You know what I mean? Like we can't be. We've never been that club, especially having a history like that. Hell no. You know, there's still players that want to play for this club. E.g. or example, Matis Cunha, right? Which he signed. We've officially, signed the player, but we need to go for deals where we know they want to sign the player, right? And gentleman's agreement and whatnot. The player wants to come to us. Um, Even after a lot of talks over the phone and going to sporting and whatnot with Gyokeres, he still come out and say that he wants Arsenal. We cannot go back to this deal. I do not think I'm not feeling it at all. And if he comes into Manchester United, we all know that he didn't want to be at Manchester United, and that makes it look a lot like the Di Maria deal, right? It just Di Maria didn't want Manchester United. He wanted PSG at the time, so it just follows a similar route. I think we should stay away from this deal and just focus on something else. Maybe Osimhen. There's a lot of news there that he's been a Manchester United for long, a Manchester United fan for a while. So I'd rather do such a deal like that. I'll even do a Mateta instead of a Gyokeres who doesn't want to come here. Um, I don't completely agree with Amorim's statement back then, before the Europa League final. If a player doesn't want to come here, we shouldn't get him, right? I don't completely agree with that, but when a player is not even playing smart and knowing together with his agent when to talk or not. I mean, he's not been chosen by Arsenal. He's not been chosen by Arsenal yet, unless he has, and we haven't gotten the news. That'll be the only, you know, sensible way to look at it. But it seems pretty dumb to openly say that you want you want a club when the club is actively looking at someone else, and if they sign that person, they're not going to sign you. So you're lessening your options, and also for fans around the world and your potential club destinations, they've already heard it out there. You've put it out there publicly that you've openly flirted with this other club, and you've waited for them to come sign you, and then that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's very dumb. It's a really dumb thing to do. So if he's really done that, then dude, maybe he's not really what we want. Maybe he's just a robot or something. So I'd rather not do that deal. I'm so pissed about the fact that he's put that out there openly. Um, Even though Arsenal is the more attractive feature right now, for you to limit your options by just coming out to spill some bullshit like that, I would rather not go for a player like that. So yeah, we need to look at more options in the striker market. I think there's a lot of deals that can be done. There are a lot of strikers everywhere. Um, Maybe a look at, is it Atletico for. I know there's this striker that was at Man City that went to Atletico. If you remember, let me know in the comments. Um, yeah, we need to assess more options in the striker market. That's for sure. Ekitike might just be a news that we're probably in talks for him, as is Chelsea and some other big clubs. But maybe it's just a news that's really pushed out there right now after the news of Gyokeres, transfer U-turn from Manchester United. Um, I, don't- I I'm I'll pay $1 million, and I don't have. to know what Amarim is, just a penny for his thoughts right now, to know that this is more realistic, right? A penny for Amarim's thoughts right now. I want to know what he's thinking. I mean, does he really want to bring a player that doesn't want to come to the club? I mean, following his statements before the Europa League final, does he really want to go down that route? I mean, was he thinking? Um, I mean, he's also probably thinking like, look, my plan A, plan B, plan C is really going down, really digging at the bottom of the barrel right now. Excuse me. So yeah, what is he thinking right now? It's a sad state of affairs. It's just like I said early in this video. It's a reality bite, and we need to figure out what we need to do to dig ourselves out of this hole. But maybe unlike some of y'all, I will not stare back to that Gyokeres deal. I think you gotta draw the line somewhere. Um, yeah, we gotta draw the line somewhere, especially if that statement is very true. You gotta draw the line and have some self-respect. So yeah, that's my take on this whole thing. What else are we missing? There's no update on where Garnacho might be going, but that might follow soon. I think there's just a lot that we have to do now that's making the Garnacho exit not hit up yet. And there's still a lot to do in this transfer window, but hopefully Mbuemo next might be like a ray of a little ray of sunshine, because we're at the bottom of the pit right now. This Saturday is just such a weird situation. Yeah, well, apparently United is looking at Ekitike now. Um, on Gyokeres transfer U-turn, as is said in the thumbnail or the title of the video. So yeah, where do we go next? What do you guys think? I don't really like the Mateta deal. I just don't like his profile of a striker. I don't like a striker very that's not very good on the ball, running with the ball. He knows how to be in position and whatnot. He knows where to be in the area, in the zone, in the zone of scoring. But I like players that can move with the ball as well. The beauty of football is moving with the ball, and you have a striker that has a knack for goal and can also do that. It's the perfect mix. Is what football is about. So yeah, I just don't like his profile of a striker, and he's a yeah. I don't like his profile of a striker. I don't like his build. I think he's probably gonna give us like a short term service. I don't know. It's just my feeling. It's just my feeling. Obviously, don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm entitled to. It's my opinion. So yeah, that's my take on it today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. You stayed all the way to the end, and if you did, give me a like, subscribe, and follow us on all our channels. We have a TikTok page. We have the YouTube here. So subscribe to the channel, guys. Please don't fail, and help us build this community. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Or if there's a quick update I have to get into, I'll absolutely do it. If it's an Embuemo deal, hell yeah, that would be awesome. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.